go back around the other way.
He was more concerned with other things, namely the research his family was involved in. He kept seeing
especially with
things
that
that
shirt
didn't
on.
make sense.
They catch
After doing
shades.
more digging,
Shirt, a long sleeve shirt,
managed
wasn't
to
it
create
really?
a successful blood
Yeah, you know
substitute
what I'm
after
talking
all.
about.
It seemed they used the same cloning process on humans,
No, dude.
giving them the blood supply they needed. They no longer needed to rely on the human race. If this happened after, was the Dalki created as an in-between, as a temporary blood source, later to be forgotten?
I'm like
What
that.
was annoying Logan more than anything was Dalki's goal in all of this. If they were created, then why not leave?
What a call your pep at?
Was revenge so important for them? Were they just a battle-crazed bunch
I ain't
of
make this
idiots?
spicy because I already know you
No,
can't
it
take
didn't
it.
make any sense. Then there was information that Logan had found that might have given him a hint about all of this. The formula that said the Dalki was complete. It wasn't complete at all. There were still problems with it. The first was that the Dalki were unable to reproduce. This explained why they had such a limited population. It was one of the reasons people survived for so long and were not wiped out in an instant.
We already showed
The
them.
second was their lifespan. It was still not great.
They already showed them.
You weren't there. I wasn't live when I recorded
The
that.
Dalki
It
conflict
was live when I pulled it in.
years ago,
I wasn't. That
and
was
they have
recording.
now been at peace for 6 years. They may be on the verge of death since they have no idea when they arrived on this planet. So,
Make good.
why attack the human race?
Buzzing. I don't see football over this joint. Him
Episode
cracking
516,
crabs, eating
Ability
shrimp.
The girls had decided to accept Xander and Amy's invitation to spend the night. They had to wait until Paul was free to give his detailed
Pluses.
report at the castle. When he returned, they would ask him a few questions, usually about Sia. Meanwhile,
Story
they
time.
tried to learn as much as they could from Amy and Xander. They had learned a few things
Gotta
about
get
the two of
dip
them
sauce.
through their conversation. The house they were in now belonged to
Yeah.
Xander,
Put this
who
sauce
had one
down
of
with
the
some
largest
peanut butter
rooms.
sauce.
The group discovered that they were living
My
in the
sauce.
castle area
It's not
due to
your
Xander in the
sauce.
first place.
My
Xander's
sauce.
family
Eat
was
over the
originally in
sauce
the
like-
pooling area, and they had Amy and her family
Disgusting.
working for them.
I'm gonna just
This
throw
was
you
because
off.
they were
Cracking
terrorists
crabs,
from many
y'all.
years
Cracking
ago.
crabs.
However, one of the teachers had
Oh,
seen
yeah,
Xander's
okay.
talent and wanted him to learn the first's ability, inviting him to live in the inner
what?
circle
I
area.
just don't want no cracks.
Still, he
Put
had
them
yet to
down.
learn the first ability before all of this
Come
had
on.
happened.
Potato.
Therefore, it was an easy decision for them to kick him out of the inner circle area. They hadn't kicked him out of the family, but all of his hopes and his family's hope of them one day rising was dashed, which meant the better option for them was to try to gain favor with a different
What do
family.
I got this do with my shrimp?
Because of this, Xander's family didn't blame him for what he had done.
No.
It was due to him that they were even able to live in such luxury for a short while.
That's what I'm talking about.
Hearing this, Layla felt like she had gotten Xander completely wrong.
Pop.
She thought he
Still
was born
steaming
into
hot.
this position and was just riding the wave. But it sounded more like
Yo,
Xander
Liz,
had gotten wrapped into this lifestyle while he was being treated differently. It had all gotten to his head a little. After their talk, it was time for them to get some sleep, and Xander had given up his large room for the girls to use while he would sleep at Amy's. There was plenty of space for all of them, and Xander was
Juice in her eye?
not to spend a night with the girls.
Snapping that joint.
Nonetheless,
You're
the
a
girls were not
napkin,
going
one.
to sleep.
A wet
They had
napkin,
far too much
crap.
to discuss.
Yeah, stuff on
my
my
hand.
Amy
hand.
began to
Wash my
describe
hand.
each of the 13 families.
Wash it.
Some of them she could
You
only
done pluck
describe
crab juice in the girl eye.
For example, she had
Oh,
no
my
idea
goodness.
how the first ability worked. Others were simple to
Get
explain.
a
You have to remember, though, that it will be impossible
White-
for
wet
any of you
paper
to
towel.
learn these 13 abilities, Amy said. They are reserved for family members only, and because you are in the 10th family, you can only learn the 10th ability. And even that is a strange situation and a half. Listening to all of the family skills wasn't a waste of time for Sia, as one of them stood out to her. It was the strength of the second family. It was the ability to turn back time on a specific region of the body that they touched. According to how it was stated, it was a more powerful skill than healing. Rather than heal the wound, it would reverse time on the
I
wound
knew Dr. Evans
itself,
would be the first one to get
bringing
you a
it back
blue
to
egg.
what it once was.
I can't
crab.
bring myself
She
to
was
get
wondering
one.
if the ability would be able to be used to bring her memories back. If
on
she
the boy
remembered
egg?
correctly, the second leader hadn't gotten involved in the fight back then.
What you doing?
She was one of the leaders that were
It's like
against
you
the
can meet
first
out.
leader, so not all hope was utterly lost.
Ooh, come out the other end.
Players that chose not to have one of the 13 abilities. Where do they get them? Aaron asked. Honestly, some of the 13 abilities sounded interesting. Still, if she couldn't get any of them, it was just a waste of time to think about it. Now that she was a vampire made by Quinn, she was stuck with the 10th family.
I say eat it.
There are several ability books that are sold in the marketplace, although there are better ones that get sold in the auction. However, I doubt you guys would have the stuff to trade here, Amy said. What do
Gotta
you use
make
for
dipping
money?
sauce, right?
Layla asked. Mostly beast
It
crystals.
ain't right if you don't
Since
got
the
dipping
place is
sauce.
powered by them, there aren't many that turn
Right,
it into
people?
beast gear like you guys have, but we use them for our everyday items, Amy explained. The group didn't have a large supply of beast
You try
crystals
this
with
one
them.
right here.
They never expected they
Who
would be
eating
in
crabs?
such
You
a
don't care about your
situation
hands getting
where they
messy.
could
Who
just
care about all
head
that?
down to the auction house and
Let
buy
your hands get
something in this
messy and just
world.
eat.
The more they thought about it,
What
their
y'all laughing
situation
at?
had done a complete 180 turn on them. I'll ask
They're laughing at
Xander.
me.
We might not have enough crystal to spare for the auction house, but who knows? Maybe you will spot something from the market, Amy
What?
said with a smile. The girls thanked Amy for how much she was helping them. They needed to be careful about what ability they chose, as they could only pick one. It was the same as when they were on Earth, and whatever money was spent, they promised they would get back at some point. The next day had arrived,
I wish I
and
could
just
give you
like Amy
some.
said, she and Xander, along with the girls, went down
Yes,
to
I
the
do.
settlement center, where there was indeed a market,
I'm
selling
going
all
for it all.
sorts of times,
Give me some food.
Man, I'm not saying pepper, please.
jewelry, clothes, and
Here you
ability
go.
books.
I'm going for
The
it.
group stayed close together, as the
Nice one.
girls didn't know what they were doing and didn't want to get separated. They looked at
Sausage,
several things,
egg, and
not just
lemon?
ability books, and Xander
Let
even
me try
tried
with
to
the
buy
lemon.
Layla
But
a nice
never mind.
necklace.
You just why do you like
It
that?
I wanted to
clear
get it on
he still had
top.
feelings for her, but Layla
Let me
was
try with the
unable to
lemon.
accept the gift. If she
Let me
did,
try with the
she
piece of
would have
lemon.
just felt bad
Try
about
what with
it.
the piece of lemon?
She didn't want to lead it
Try it.
on when in her heart she still had another, and perhaps another one was starting to enter it as well.
Try to squeeze the lemon
Eventually,
juice on here.
after
Or is
lots
it
and
regular?
lots of looking, the only one who had selected
Put
an
some sauce on
ability
it
at the
first.
end of the day so far was Layla. She had chosen to stick to her telekinesis ability. This time, though, she had bought the level 2, 3, and 4 books. Now that her body had changed, maybe she was no longer limited to her old
You
cat.
alright.
Maybe she could
Hold
improve
on.
her ability more. The main reason for her choosing this ability was due to her third form of evolution.
So,
There were 3 fireballs that she could use. One was healing, one was a buff, as well as
New
a
combo I
debuff,
just made
and the
up.
other was an attack. She felt like with her arrow,
Right.
shooting these
Hey, cut that
fireballs
lemon.
towards her allies
Okay.
and targets
Look at that.
would be easier if she had the telekinesis ability. She
Egg,
also knew
sauce,
how to use it and
sauce,
didn't
right.
need to learn how to fight with something completely new. She thought long and hard, and
I know.
eventually this was the
Like
decision
that.
she had made.
Yeah.
That was
As
good.
for Erin, she didn't realize it herself until
It's
she appeared
elevated
at the
there.
market. She was
How many eggs you
constantly
making?
looking at the abilities,
Like 10.
hoping to see something to do with her own
Oh,
ice
yeah.
ability. Unfortunately, according to Amy,
Ooh.
this was
They
not
look
one
at
of the
everything?
abilities that were compatible
Crazy work.
with both humans and
You taste
vampires,
it?
which
No.
meant she would
You
need to
taste it?
choose a new
No.
one. Hearing this
I
news,
like
she
those.
really
Like
couldn't
vinegar?
think as she looked at all of
Okay.
the abilities.
Mm.
Well, don't worry too much. Once you're settled, you can save up some crystals, Amy said. Then head to the auction house. I'm sure there will be plenty of useful abilities for you there. As for Sia, she was never really looking at the abilities in the first place. Every chance she would get, she had tried to find out information on which castle was the second castle, and to see if there
That
was
was
any
good.
way she
You
could
should
get
have
in.
egg.
She wanted to
potatoes.
ask the leader if she could get her abilities
Snap on
back,
top
but
of it, yeah.
what could she bargain for? The leader had no reason to help her at all, and this was her main problem. After a full day of
Lemon
shopping,
juice.
the girls returned to Xander's house
spicy.
once more for the second
no,
night of
spicy.
sleep. Amy had received news that Paul should be returning tomorrow, and they could finally ask him about Sia's abilities. Elsewhere, many things were happening at the same time. It was the third day since Quinn had entered the underground chambers.
That was real.
The boys were busy at the mountain, and the girls were staying at Xander's house. At this point in
Yeah, okay.
time, each one of them woke up, hoping that they could get some progress done that day. Quinn, too, had opted to prepare to leave the castle and travel to meet with Arthur. He thought he could not
Look at
only
the
gain
lady.
confirmation regarding the original commander, but also take him
You
on
did
his
those
offer of
dishes.
training.
I didn't
All their
clean those
hopes
for
were
sure.
dashed, as everyone in
believe
the
it.
entire settlement
You're
had received
lying.
a message
Trying
from
to
the
throw me
evil
under here.
vampire leader. This included Quinn, the boys in the mountain, and the girls. This is an emergency. All vampires who are out from the settlement are to return
Man, I'm going
immediately.
straight for the-
I repeat, all
Yeah,
vampires who are
lime.
out of the settlement are to return immediately.
Lemon lime more
Leaders
time.
are to head to the council room now. The vampire settlement has been discovered. We are being invaded.
You can't go wrong with that lemon lime.
Episode 517, The Invasion. The message came directly
So these cups bigger than y'all think,
It was an
man.
emergency message issued to
These
every
ones be
vampire.
taking
They
up,
are.
man.
You think they're not big, but they
People who
are.
not part of the colony. Apart from the leader, not everyone's telepathic ability would be. There were mobile
Already.
phones and communications devices in today's society, But with the arrival of this technology came the creation of jammers, which prevented such gadgets from operating. It also prevented information from being intercepted. When the message went out, it had gone to all vampires, which meant inside the mountain, Timmy and Leo were the only ones who had heard it. Is it important? Leo asked, looking at Timmy. Timmy gave a brief nod. Sweat could be seen on his face. I never heard them call everyone back like this, and an invasion. I don't think that has ever happened since the vampire settlement was established, Timmy replied. We have to go back now. We can't spend any more time here. Leo seemed to agree, and honestly, he didn't like the fact that the message said that all the leaders were to be involved. This meant Quinn would be called as well. Quinn was still a naive teen in Leo's eyes, someone who had yet to experience the dangers and politics adults would often play. He wanted to be by his side at this point and time, but at least Edward would be there next to him. Come on, you two, we have to move out, Leo said. Logan had gathered as much information as he could. Some of it he couldn't quite decode or figure out in time. Instead, he decided to upload it onto his nano sticks to save for later. They couldn't help Morden now, but maybe in the future. His only worry for now was if someone else discovered the lab and was to destroy it for some unknown reason. Timmy, Logan, Leo, let's keep this lab our little secret for now. Don't tell anyone, Logan said. What about Quinn? Morden asked.
It is Caucasian shrimp.
I honestly don't know what's happening here. I feel like we can't trust any of the vampires
white people
or
spicy.
humans. Right now, I'm even doubting what my parents have told me, Logan said.
There goes the seasoning on there.
He probably is too trusting of those around him at
Person with a little
times.
seasoning on
Let's
it,
not fill his
spicy.
head with these thoughts.
Thank you. God bless you too.
With that, the boys were off and heading back through the forest on their way to the 10th
Yeah.
castle.
What you laughing at?
The girls were in a similar situation.
You were laughing at my work like a live video.
Who said that? Who said God bless you?
But all of them had received the
You
message.
sneeze?
It's
What
copy.
is this about? Have the Dalki
Was that
come
what
to
you
attack?
sneezed?
Layla asked, a little concerned. She was used to
So
hearing
you drink that
such
drink, right?
messages only
You
when the
drink that
Dalki invaded. The Dalki, Amy said, confused before shaking her head.
Y'all can't be, y'all ain't going in for real.
It can only mean one thing.
Y'all
They're
faking.
talking
They ain't
about
do
the
nothing to me
humans,
yet.
not just a few strays like when you guys arrived, Amy explained.
Before?
It would be best if you head back to your castle for now, said Xander. Be prepared and your leader will inform you what to do next.
Yes.
We will start the transferring process, but things might be put on hold while the settlement is in a bit of a panic. Once we're done, we will come looking for
I
you.
was gonna sing for ages.
The girls wasted no time heading back to the 10th
Okay,
castle,
thank you,
and when they
angels.
arrived, they could see the boys
What's
standing
potato
outside the
in there?
castle. However, there
Yeah,
seemed to
man.
be an
There's some on
additional
the pot
person
too. I
with
didn't
them.
put, I couldn't fit them on there.
Thanks, Layla called out. Hey, beautiful girls, how's the All-Star team doing?
Let's go.
Beck said, walking over. It had been a while since he was himself, but slowly it looked like he was changing back. When walking over to the girls, Fex's and Aaron's eyes met.
I'm gonna have
It's
to
been a
put
long
some
time,
shrimp
and
up
you
for
look even
Frank.
prettier than last time, Fex said as he
Yeah,
went to
you guys
grab her
look
hand,
good.
also leaning forward to give a perky
Well,
kiss.
dangerous.
But before she could let him, she drew her
Dangerous
blade and
one
went
over
for a
there.
cut.
Dangerous.
Fex
Dang.
dodged the blow by spinning
Shrimp
to
is
the
my
side
favorite.
and using his
I
regular
like shrimp
strength
more
to
than
grab
anything.
onto the blade. But that blade had gone right through his strength.
What's so sexy about that?
Just figure out what had
I
happened.
didn't say that was something, but see your mind going like,
Sorry, Fex groaned, kneeling.
your mind.
Shrimp is my favorite though.
All on the same side
is my
here.
Shrimp is my favorite. It's the way you say it.
Like, why you sound like that?
Y'all know.
Was that she had used he. It was now a habit. Whenever she would attack, it would never be without it.
If I go somewhere with seafood, boy,
But this scene didn't
now you got
set.
shrimp.
Instead,
I don't want
it
it,
reminded her of the good old times of the past.
If I go with
when
some
all
people
of
and they
them
got
were
no
together.
souls,
Now, only one person
I need
was missing.
souls.
I need sauce too.
And it seemed like he had
I
already
need
gone
one.
to the castle. Please, Quinn, be okay, Layla thought.
Very nasty.
After hearing the
Lemon's
message,
not needed for
Edward
me.
told Quinn that the two
I
of
can
them
eat the
must go
crabs
to the castle immediately.
without
It
the,
was a summons that they couldn't just ignore.
I mean, I need crabs with the
Yes, they had a
souls.
lot
I
of
can eat the crabs
problems
without the
here,
shrimp.
but it was best to say nothing about it. He was a recent leader who
Oh,
didn't
really?
have a say in the
That's
vampire council at the
I
moment.
need everything
When the
but
two of them
that.
left, Edward would usually lead the way to the
Yeah, I'm the
castle,
one I went
as
to.
it wasn't as straightforward as going from one place to the next.
Yeah, I want the
And
crabs.
when a summons was
Probably
called,
got these
there
here.
were more direct routes. The
Probably
going
not
from the
straight up
Vampire
vinegar.
castle area to the main settlement area and back
I know
into the
crabs, it's
castle
all
area
vinegar.
was the long way of doing things. But somehow it looked as if Quinn knew the way he was going, as if he had already walked this way many times before.
I
Looking
gotta
at
go away
Quinn
my
back,
crab. Look at that,
it
I left all
shined
this
with
meat
more
up in there.
confidence than the last time.
Mm-mm.
No, it can't be, Edward thought. Vincent! Edward
Almost was
called
in the
out.
trap. Bill don't have me
Quinn
out
immediately
now.
turned around to the name.
She went
He looked
outside.
at Edward for a short while before replying, I'm not Vincent, I'm Quinn, he replied. But the brief pause in time when replying Quinn had even
Now
found
she
it
went out
weird,
real
for he
loud.
had automatically turned thinking his name was Vincent. Was it because I lived his life for how many years? It was even longer than my own life.
Shrimp.
Perhaps that experience had done more to his mind than he thought.
So
When
good,
he
so
entered the room, the
good.
other leaders had arrived and were already sitting in their seats, and the king was there as well. It looked like they also had already found a replacement for the sixth leader, Vadine, as well. They had done a lot in a short amount of time, and it seemed like they were quite well organized.
I want this
However,
big part
something
right
felt
here.
strange to Quinn. The last time he was here, he was nervous and
This
intimidated,
fat part.
but it wasn't the same this time.
It's
He
too
naturally
big.
took his seat, and Edward
spot
stood
right
by
here?
his side.
I don't like
This
that
time,
part.
the way Quinn had sat was with the confidence of all the other leaders.
Oh, he's
This even
talking about us.
allowed Edward to step forward
sorry.
and stood
Yeah.
proudly by his right
The
side.
camera.
Vincent, you may be gone, but it seems like you have
Talk to
passed
the
on
camera,
some of
too.
your abilities to this boy. The only one that wasn't present in the
He's
room
always
was Arthur.
sausage.
Man,
The
McKenna's trying
shadow
to
from
potato.
underneath Quinn's feet started to
What
widen
is
and
it?
started to shift
She
about
was
like
where I'm
before.
looking.
And a few seconds
She
later,
didn't have
Arthur
that.
appeared. Did you have to use my shadow like that? Quinn asked. You, Arthur was about
Oh,
to say
crushing
something
potatoes,
when looking
my
at
goodness.
Quinn, but chose not to, stopping himself. It's quicker this way, Arthur replied as he walked over to his seat. The meeting began as soon as the king stood up. Rather than chit-chat, there was no talking amongst the leaders. They all knew this was a serious matter. Now, I won't jump around the subject, the king said. In all these years, something like this has never happened on this scale, but our scouts have informed us we have been discovered. Humans have discovered this place, and it isn't just one or two, but it appears to be the military. The first leader, Bryce, immediately looked in Quinn's direction. Quinn had brought humans with him, and he wasn't from here. He could only suspect it had something to do with him. Before I open the table to suggestions and such on how to deal with this, I will give you all the information we know, the king explained.
Sure.
They're all
How
quite
you
strong
doing?
ability users. There's a small unit of
Crab
around
bowl.
200 of them.
Right.
It
I'll go ahead and put
seems
one more
to be a
scoop in there and that's
scouting
it.
force, and finally, if our
That's it.
intel is right. The
I'm
person
getting some-
leading them
we're
is one of
getting
the
some juice
head
already.
generals, who goes by the name of Paul Snealier, head general of the
Hey,
2nd Military
crab.
Base. Quinn couldn't help but have a small reaction when he heard these remarks. For Paul was in command of the 2nd Base, to which Quinn belonged to.
Excuse me, sir. Can I get your leg up in my live?
What
What
leg?
they pinching my feet?
Episode 518, Through the
You
Book.
thought they couldn't see your leg?
The human group that
feet
tried to
all
tell
up in my
them
life.
to care not to do
Washington
anything too
good
extreme.
news.
After all,
Oh,
they had no
that's
idea where it would go.
That's what they are.
They didn't come upon it.
They won.
Nowhere every
You
day.
should have told mommy feet
Furthermore,
this
it lacked
morning.
any of the
Oh, no, you not.
A whole white.
Oh,
person.
my goodness. She gonna do that
She
shit
was
on
a
live
whole
video.
different skin complexion.
You ain't running.
Caucasian.
It is nonsense.
Caucasian.
Like,
In between
hey,
don't listen to
was
her.
it, she was just ashy?
Don't listen to her. She was just telling me
In the
whole
morning?
lie.
In a crack of dawn. You know, I started out the show.
Okay, what you laughing at?
last night.
The only
Oh
thing
my
She went to bed ashy, woke up ashy. Oh, she was cracking in her sleep. She woke up with scratches on her. How that happened? Oh,
What about the heart? Potato.
At first he thought that it
oh man.
Same.
Y'all just stop telling
I
stories.
wanted to take a picture of Tennessee, but I ain't have my phone.
You have to stop this, man. That's dangerous for your
I don't
skin.
know what she's talking about. Michaela, be
I would
quiet.
never lie. It was the worst lie I've ever seen.
it baffled him.
Darling. Darling. I know she is not.
It was
The worst thing you ever seen.
It was the worst I
Y'all
ever
hear this girl talking about somebody feet ashy. I don't know who she talking about.
seen.
Shelter, clearing an
Like,
area
man, it
of
has to stop.
You know,
We're gonna start. We're gonna have to start a family morning routine where you to get up and all wipe our face and lotion.
It had been a week or so, so
We don't already do that.
Understand? So we all can do it. Wink, wink.
he didn't know
I think we all do that
why
already.
spices didn't seem to be
I know.
working.
I know. I get up and wash my face. I know Jam do. I know Dr. J do.
And I know I do.
It be some afternoons I be like, "Mo, you still got a little sun in your eye." I had to ask you, "Mo, did you remember wash your face this morning?"
Been telling the whole lie.
No,
Why you said that lie to me?
ain't no cap. It's afternoon. I'm talking about 4 o'clock. Mo, you got a little crust in your eye.
or they could push forward.
Did you wipe your face?
Before deciding anything,
Nice.
Paul had chosen one of the sergeants he had
They talking about somebody
from
else.
the military base to go
No.
back. At the same time, sending a small group.
Tell me, dude.
He had
It was
high
crazy.
hopes for
It
these
was
guys to return as
insane.
well.
Her people probably said like that
With
to
some
they
good
machine
news,
put a
they never
lotion
did.
on.
What time was it?
With the days passing by, they had very few
Like,
The last
probably like
Soon their
3
food
3
bills and such
o'clock?
were
3
running low.
freaking o'clock.
Never did they
I'm
think
thinking
an
it's the
expedition would
morning,
last
3
this long.
o'clock in the afternoon.
Stuck in limbo on
Roger ain't telling the whole lot. I was still asleep.
You know I would never.
Seeing that the
I was
morale
still
of everyone was
asleep.
low,
Jazz like
Paul
that.
had
3 o'clock in the afternoon
You
is
just learned.
So I
insanity.
just got out the shower. My man took a shower like she took a shower last night. So
I got the shower this morning.
No, she did.
Yes, I did so.
No, she did. And even if she did, it was the morning time. We don't put lotion on. You put
I
lotion
went to
on.
bed.
Absolutely.
Exactly. Let's not be shower.
From the Supreme Commander, but he knew it was
Me
the morale
too.
he needed. The portal was
But it was in the morning
I just got
time.
out the shower
At
myself.
the same time,
Ashy.
some of Paul's
Where?
biggest
I can see your kneecap
agreements
ashy.
with
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I just got out the shower. You see me at?
some food here and there.
You see
I
me
use
at?
body
They
oil.
were
So.
trained to do such things in certain
And
situations.
I bought some new
But Paul was trying
that same
to
stuff
take
that I take
leadership.
that for your face
He
to
was
see
trying to
something.
prove to everyone
See
he could make men strong.
sensitive.
mouse?
And
Yeah.
at the same time, do the
What?
duty
What's
that
that
the
for?
Supreme Commander had
For you?
given him.
I got that.
The teleporter was
Nice little
brought out,
small
still
jar.
activated and shining brightly.
See how I
It
do my
looked
face?
similar to their portable teleporters.
What?
Only this one
You
was
don't?
square-shaped.
Yes, you will.
Usually,
Yeah.
portable teleporters only had one destination. The Army still had theirs as well. If worse came to worse and the new planet was far more dangerous than they expected, then they would have to roll the dice and try to head back to Earth, where the other soldiers had gone missing. Paul had stationed himself in the middle of the two
Hey, I
rows
just
that were
lied on
going
me
through
like
the
that.
teleporter at the same time. It was to give him the best opportunity for survival, not at the front to protect everyone,
Good one, Charlie.
and not at the back either.
You sound like that
When
again.
walking through the portals,
Oh,
they were all
big one.
transported one by one, and finally they had reached an unknown forest-type area. It was a little strange, though, as the area where they had landed looked as if it had been cleared of trees, and there were signs of some of the strange colored grass lying flat. Looks like we hit the jackpot, Paul thought.
That's
In
why
his
you're full.
mind,
You sip
he
on
was
that
wondering
drink.
if they had discovered
That's
a group
not
of
what I've been
humans who
for.
had run off
I'm
away
in
from
full
Earth,
too.
Said that.
which wasn't
What you
registered
eat?
with the
A
government
sushi?
system. They might have been a group of originals that carried the shadow ability and had chosen to hide. It wasn't unheard of for a group to do this. After all, the originals were protected
And why
with
would
their
they
powers.
don't? Like he can't slow
Around
down.
200 of their soldiers had made it, and everyone was checking
For
in with their
real.
squads to see if
Super
everything was
fast.
okay.
Why you
Not
sitting
leaving
like
the
that?
area they were in just
Like
yet.
what?
So far, it seemed like everything
I
was
got
fine.
set up.
Sir, look
Charlie.
above, one of his men said. Turning his head over to the sky,
put some of
he
that.
could see two
You know,
moons
you
in
are
view.
saying so.
Their light
Never
was
said
shining on
something.
some
You a
together.
sussy, sir.
It
Never
was
said
several
sussy. You're a
blackbirds
sussy.
that
You a
seemed to be
sussy,
circling
sir.
their
Okay,
location.
you sussy, sir.
We assumed they would be soon.
Y'all over
Got
there
head butted.
We
Trying to
know
play with me,
for
your
now,
daughter, but
Paul
they catch
said.
these
They
hands.
don't look like too much trouble.
Hi!
We can deal with them quite easily. Although, try your best not to get their attention. We don't want to reveal ourselves. Has anything else been found? At that moment, one of the soldiers had come down from an earth
He ain't
pillar
over
that
there.
had
I
been
don't
made.
have something to do with
He
it.
was scouting from a high position,
Wow.
trying to see if there were any signs
What's
of
that fat
anyone
one?
around them.
Oh, like that's why I put it back.
People want to know about
Or a
this.
small
It
one?
looks like a
That
giant
one probably
shelter has
too
been
big.
established. The soldier reported.
Hey, you feel
Giant
it.
shelter? What do you mean by that? Paul asked. Well, you won't believe it, but there are castles, and a lot of them.
I know you gonna throw this sauce
So
away.
I can see from here.
Who?
And it looks like the whole town is there. Before Paul could even
Put
ask
that whole
for
thing
more
in the
details,
fridge. Let me
one
get
of
it
the
tomorrow.
squads started to act
After I get off of
This
church.
was the scouting
You
group.
put that in the, you could, this
Inside
is
the
on the
scouting
bowl.
group, one of the soldiers
I
had
had
a
to leave church
hearing
early.
Being out of church.
allowing
No.
him to hear a great distance away, and his actions had shaken his squad.
You gonna leave church early for
Paul
what?
shouted.
Yeah,
To
"I
get
don't
cra-
know
to
what
get
is
to your
happening,
crabs?
sir, but suddenly through the forest there are sounds of footsteps and growls running towards us.
You
There
have
are
no
too many
problem
for me to
with
get an accurate count.
That's
Paul
all
looked
you're
up at the
doing.
birds again,
Oh, yeah.
and now they
Danny
seemed
back
to still
tomorrow?
be circling them.
Jan, where you at?
Birds weren't
Oh, Jan was,
ordinary birds
Yeah,
after all.
uh-huh.
They were
yeah.
hovering above them so the enemy could know their
For how
location.
long?
She called for her boo.
Everyone ready up. Prepare for battle. Paul
What's wrong with
commanded.
that purring?
Prepare the portable
Call for her
teleporters
boo-boo.
for
Oh, yeah,
escape
that-
if need be. Squad 1,
Yeah,
which
cool
direction
idea.
is the enemy coming
It was a
from?
good on my phone.
The man
It was?
gulped before he could
It was
answer.
time ago.
It wasn't that
Footsteps,
long
the
ago.
growls, they're coming from all
Bill hadn't
around.
even been outside since then.
However, the army was not disorganized.
I wanna know what she got. What she got to go see. Where she
With this
go
much
at?
information, he
Cause I ain't seen that cat that was at our door that day.
followed by an arrow
That peeped up.
formation, pointing north in one direction
I
behind
ain't
I
seen
can't
that
hit my
cat.
shelf.
the arrow would be
in
their
my book.
attack force, while the circle
There's
was
no
their
reason
shield.
to and talking
And right
about
in
it.
the
You're not
center of the
listening.
circle,
Just turn
the
it
I'm
on.
listening. I've been
teleporters
listening the
had
whole
already been
time.
set up. But
Let me
for
tell you what's
Paul,
going
He
on.
it was a
listens to
last
it all
resort.
day, every
He
day.
didn't know
All
why,
day,
but he
every
had a
day.
feeling if they were to try
That's a
to
good.
end
I haven't even. I gotta get back to my book.
earlier, then it'd be
Them
worse
stories be
than what
really
they
good
were
though.
currently in
I'd
was
rather
waiting
read it
for
like
them.
in my hand, not listen
Finally,
to
the
it.
sound of the growls and footsteps.
Nah,
had
audio
finally
is better.
by all of them now.
Audio
And
better.
they waited patiently
Especially when
until one of the creatures
they
had come
voice
out.
it. This book
It
voices
was
this
tall,
stuff out.
pale, and
But I
covered
Different
can't write.
voices,
Like different characters.
different
they
characters
act
have
out.
different voices. They act.
You
They
can do
something
that
none of
yourself
them had
when you
ever seen
read.
before.
Yeah.
And soon there were many upon
You
them.
could, but yeah.
Go, Paul commanded.
He's not
All
really a
spears
reader.
came shooting out from the first row of soldiers,
Did you ever
hitting
catch
the
the
creatures in the
SOS? You
stomach
SOS
and
and
stopping
stuff?
them in
I
their
don't know. I
path.
forgot.
For a second, Paul had a
I ain't
smile
never
on
take
his
those
face,
things too
but it
serious.
had only lasted a second.
I fell asleep on half
Because
them
the
things.
creatures were
First
still
one,
moving
woke up
with
and just
great
started
strength.
spamming
They
answers every
slammed
time.
against the earth spikes and rushed ahead. The hole
Yeah.
in
Well,
their
I do
gut
that too, but I
was
passed
already
mine,
healing.
so.
Their first foe coming
Every
to
time
That's
I
what I took recently.
was an army
go to
of
sleep,
Wendigos.
for a couple hours, wake up. I'm like, oh, let me not pick the same answer. I go A, B, C, D, D, B, E, E, C,
Episode
A,
590.
A. Every time I see it, all of above answer, I answer that one all the time because it's always all of above.
And had finally sat
What are you
down.
talking about?
Quinn's
That's
memory.
what it is.
He now knew that the room was open
You
for
answer your
questions.
SOLs by A, B, C, D.
Guessing like crazy.
They won.
To allow them
Really?
Hey, I'm out of school.
When the king was there, the
Yeah, you out of school.
professional that
But not like
Now
that,
they're making it.
though.
That's like the past 5 SOS
was
to
the first leader,
graduate.
Bryce.
How many
For
you got?
real.
Forgive me for
I
saying
mean,
this so
I
soon,
passed.
Bryce said.
I'm so happy they got that rule out before I graduated.
After all,
But it's
That
different
part
for
was
me.
still been in
What's your
school.
request, right?
brought
Huh?
humans with him, did he not?
What's that?
Perhaps they had followed him in.
What's
Or maybe
that?
they came looking for said humans that
Oh,
had
she
brought
can.
with
It's
them.
like
What we talked about
A
with the
few of the other
counselor?
leaders seemed to agree
I
with
got
the
supposed to be
statement.
this year.
The
Yes.
time was
I mean,
short
next
between
year.
events.
Yes.
Not once
What,
had
you
they
like
still
been
stay
graduate?
home or
by
something?
humans,
And you
and
do all
now
your
they
work
had
online?
two incidents
Well,
like
it's
this.
not home because it's
Maybe
not
it was
quarantine
Quinn's
anymore.
plan all along.
I got a
He
message
knew
on
he
it.
wouldn't be strong enough to save them. So
I
he
got one
wanted
more
to
freshman.
replace them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
enjoy yourself, boo.
My sister graduated like early.
My baby.
Clark, who was in the room as James Vampire
My
Knight,
baby right here.
thought of something.
Having them a good old time.
That shit was crazy. Who was mommy talking about? She
She was talking to me. Talking to me.
Yes.
She was
I
so
was even
cute.
here. What she was saying? She was all.
Munching.
He wasn't even
Munching
chomping.
it
He was just
down.
swallowing it.
For real.
I ain't hear nothing about what he was talking about. I'm over here.
I'm over some look
He
at my
was,
baby. Like,
he
yeah.
was swallowing it. Big head.
Ain't even look at. Ain't even look up.
He didn't even bite it. He just.
He thought long and hard.
I'm full now. For real. This
Okay,
drink
Kim, what
is
you
free.
saying?
My sister, on my dad's side, she did Quest. She was like out of school like early. She already got her graduated and everything. She just gotta walk across the stage like this year. That's it. But she been out of school for like 2 years. She got her own
So you-
business and everything.
So what's this? 2024. So you trying to graduate this year?
I'm still gonna graduate when I need, so I'm just gonna be out of school.
I did not call this
So we
meeting
have
for
one more class.
accusation.
We only have one more
We may
class.
look
It's
into that
Asian.
at
So
a
you be out
later
of school
time.
early.
Right now, I'm asking for
Yeah,
solutions.
she'll graduate online.
You'll
Well,
graduate. Oh no, you want graduation next year for 2025?
I'm still going to my graduation.
Yeah, she still walks across the stage. It's just she graduates before all her classmates, basically.
Our intel from the
But they,
Sister,
the last thing I need to pass is my
and we're researching the training
my
plan.
reading
I'm
SOL.
afraid we were too
I already
distracted by
passed my
current
other one
events at the
though. My
time.
writing.
The knight said, looking
Read
before
what had reading, writing, math.
However, even though we had acted
Math, I
slow,
kept failing.
we were able to
I
jam the
kept
teleporters.
failing
Seemed
math, but I
like they were
passed it
still
this
using
year.
the
That's
old
what
tech,
something. I
so we
don't
sent
remember
them
the
to
SOL
locker.
reason in school.
My mom used to make
This
us
was
put the
something
book
that
underneath our
had come
pillow
up
and sleep
when Quinn
on
was
it.
stuck in Vincent's memory. He had spent some time in the vampire world.
Get it in your brain.
but not long enough
She
for a
said, y'all
mention of
sleep and
something
go
like
into your
this.
brain. You'll
At
know
the
it
same
4 in the
time, it
morning.
wasn't as if
I ain't never heard that.
we had no clue.
That's old school.
It worked, it worked.
Oh my
We
goodness.
have also
That's what I did for my
sent
driver's
them
test, and that's how I
to their
passed.
location. They have now arrived
Okay,
at
listen to
the
your mother.
The other royal
She
knight
know what you're
landing
talking
inside
about.
replied, "It should delay them for
Old
now,
school.
but
Mother-
from what
mothers
we
know
can see
best.
through the familiars, It seems like the soldiers
not
are quite
well.
skilled and organized. When they realize their weakness,
Don't hurt
it takes them
yourself,
a long
man.
Yeah,
time
but
to
my
deal
sister
with
got
it.
her own business now. She
I
do
think we need
nails
to ask a few more
she
questions,
doing?
Jill said,
at
standing
my
up.
dad's house.
First, we need to know,
No, my sister on my
do you
dad's
want the
side.
dad or
Oh, okay.
capture
Who that
someone?
was?
She asked.
Um,
The king hesitated for a
downtown.
while before giving his
she
answer.
lived like what,
Whenever he needed to make a decision,
10
he
minutes from
needed to
here.
do so in a way that would please both sides. It would be best if we could keep them alive, but I don't want any vampires to die in the process of trying to do so. It seems like this will be a hard
It's not
battle,
allowed to take
so
me.
my only
It's
request
the
would be
morning
to
and it's the
try and bring the
afternoon.
leader
I'm gonna
back
do
alive.
morning.
Morning what?
That settles it then. For
Because
only
there's different
200 or
schedules.
so
There's the
men.
morning and
There
there's
is
the
no need for all
afternoon.
of us to go. I think only one family needs to
Is it
fight
the
outside the
afternoon or the
go to deal with this, Jill replied. If that's the case, then I have a suggestion to make, Creeman said. And I think this would be a good chance for the new sixth leader to prove himself. Show he is capable of the position we have given him. Allow him to lead the Sixth Army and take care of them.
Mr. Crab.
The vampires seemed to agree with this suggestion.
All right, y'all.
There didn't
I
seem
had
to be
enough of
much
y'all.
matter. It
Thank
looked
you
as
so
if
much
they
for
were
listening
more annoyed
in.
or bothered by this nuisance
Stay
than
family
anything.
real estate.
Wait, Bryce interrupted.
Make sure you like my channel, subscribe to my channel.
Agree with the solution.
We just got finished throwing down for some
There's another new hero
seafood,
among us. I think the
yo.
10th leader is also a good candidate to go and deal with humans.
I'm full.
It will also prove to us
Never
all
only had it to
that
itself.
he is
It's
indeed
his
not
birthday.
working with them.
Happy birthday to
What are you
Wani.
thinking? Edward
You should
shouted
have his
today.
birthday cake.
You know the 10th family is still unaware of who their leader is. It would be almost impossible
You'd be
for
mad
them
if I
to
dropped
gather an
this.
army right now. No,
You
even
need to
before
have
that,
that.
there aren't many that are loyal enough
For
to
my
the
son's
10th
birthday.
to go into such a battle. Is that my fault? This is a
Right.
leader's responsibility, is it not? Bryce said.
Peace.
Gritting his
Catch you
teeth
on the,
there, it looked as
on the
if
next
Edward was
video.
about to climb over the table.
Why this little girl?
Like in the
Keep
video,
laughing.
you got.
Yeah.
You gotta get you an intro and an outro.
I'm doing my outro now. I'm trying to outro. Y'all keep disturbing
What's your
me.
intro? How your intro sound?
Distracting me.
How
My
your intro?
With some type of excuse.
Faith, family, and real estate. Thank you for joining in.
Okay. What's your outro?
Didn't hesitate when
Thank you for
saying
joining
these
in. Faith, family, and real estate. That's my intro, my outro.
words to them.
Subscribe to my channel, like, share, do all that good stuff. Catch y'all in the next video.
I'll come with you. Remember how I said I would train you, right?
End it. You gotta end it.
Don't tell me to end my video. I
Messing
ended
it
it
up.
already.
You have to end it.
You messed it up.
I gotta do it over. Alright. Thank y'all for listening to Faith Family Real Estate. I love you guys. They all in my business. The people on the other side.
Really gotta be sorry.
Peace.
In
the Middle East.
will be given the task of defending
Would you think put your film or whoop your butt? She'll get her butt whooped.
Come on, end the video.
gather more information.
There you go. Finally, let them people sleep.